Well, good afternoon YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Dan, and today I've got a nice freshly cut piece of side grain piece of British oak. Now today we're going to try and turn this into another decorative piece, another practical piece for the collection. And what I'm likely to do first, because I've already centered off my bowl blank, I was going to say we've created the circle in the center, and so we're just going to take the corners off for a bit of light work. If you do enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a subscribe and a thumbs up. It all massively helps the channel out. But let's get straight to the bandsaw and let's get this piece cut up. Right, now as you can see, there's quite an interesting grain pattern going on here. I was going to say, I thought I was going to end up with more heart over the oak actually in this piece. So basically what I've done, I've just taken the pith out and we've got it into a nice octagonal kind of shape really. So it's not going to be too bad when we actually mount it to the lathe. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to actually secure this with the faceplate. And like many of you do know from our previous videos, that I find it's probably the most secure way of actually mounting the wood to the lathe. So if you just bear with me, we'll get this thing mounted up. Now I am going to start on the 1/2 inch bowl gouge because this is a crown bowl gouge, and I think it could be quite an aggressive type of gouge, and it can remove quite a lot of timber very, very quickly. Now before I do, really, I just want to make sure we've got a clear passing of that tool rest because we don't want anything banging whatsoever. So I'm going to get this on to probably the first belt ratio. I'm just going to start it off on the slowest RPM and just gradually build up that speed. Just to see how the piece is going to behave. So it's a bit of an odd chunk, but we'll see how we get on with it today. So we're up to 427 RPM there. So I'm going to try and get a little bit quicker. So remove my phone and my other bowl gouge off the lathe. I'm just rattling around, and yeah, we're going to get out the line of fire there. So just in case, see if we can get closer to 500 RPM. Just to start off with, okay? Just to see how we get on with the piece, really. But first things first, let's find some headgear and just protect ourselves. Right, just so I don't run off the end of that tool rest there, I'm just going to bring it out. I'm going to come round so I can get a better position on it really. So there we are. If I'm running on a 45 degree now, I can actually come round this corner and just give myself a bit more room, just for my own safety really. But yeah, as I say, I've been wood turning for 2.5 years, and I love to turn things like a lot of the British native species, so oak, ash, beech, and I'm really looking forward to trying a few more different types of timber out. So if you'd like to see how I get on with that, don't forget to support the channel. It is free. Right, okay, we'll stop there just for a second, just to get a good indication and see where we are. I can say I've got a couple of areas. Okay, we've still got this little flat area here, which we can sweep around anyway. We'll take off this bark here, but overall, we're getting our shape. We're getting the shape, the form that we're looking for. I have got a small inclusion here, which I'm not too bothered about because it doesn't run through the piece. It's just on the surface. So a couple more passes. I may even swap over to the 3/8 bowl gouge, as I don't want to remove lots and lots of material. I just want to remove enough to be able to create that shape, put our tenon on, put our foot on, some class that as the shoe or the foot, and then we'll flip it round and we'll get this thing hollowed out. But But yeah, I was going to say oak is very distinctive in colour, in weight, etc. So it's a beautiful type of timber to turn on the lathe. And but yeah, I was going to say it's one of these types of timber you often recognise oak from its dark tan, from the tan that actually displays. Then you get different colour patterns and variations in colour. And but yeah, it's always interesting. It's always interesting to turn. So I think every piece of wood has a story to tell, and oak, no two pieces are ever the same. So it's that's one reason why I like turning it. So but yeah, we're going to crack on. Right, okay, I'm going to swap over to my 3/8 bowl gouge, because at the moment I've got some tool marks that I need to tidy up, and I think the 3/8 bowl gouge is very versatile. It's great for tidying up, great for cleaning your piece up. So it's one of my go-to gouges in the workshop, apart from the 1/2 inch bowl gouge. I do have a number of gouges in the workshop, but it's the two I always seem to go running back to pick up to actually create my work on this lathe. I still have this small pocket here of bark, which was no problem at all. I'll remove that very shortly. But again, I still have this inclusion here. I don't know if that's evident on camera, but yeah, we're going to try and tidy this up and see if we can remove it, because it's not very appealing to the eye, is it? It's one of the first things that you're going to notice as you pick the piece up, that it's got a hole in the side of it. So we'll clean it up with a 3/8, and hopefully we'll tidy this up. We'll put a tenon on, we'll flip it round, and hopefully we'll get it actually hollowed out. I was going to say, I used to call it coring, and then another woodturner said to me, it's not coring, it's hollowing. And I said, well, I thought that's what people called it. And he says, well, you core an apple. You core an apple, you go through the apple. I was going to say, and so you're removing the core. You don't want to go through a bowl. That's why we hollow and we don't core. Hope that makes sense. What I'm being very mindful of at the moment is its shape, it's its form. I was going to say, because at the moment, obviously we're taking this off, this will be going in the next couple of minutes. I just want to be mindful where that hole was, or have we got rid of it already? I think we've already passed it. It's actually running here, and I'm actually so glad, because it's barely noticeable. It's barely there. So I think a couple more passes will actually tidy this up, and it'll also tidy this small little inclusion here. So let's get rid of it. I'm going to speed up again. We're going to get up to about 750 RPM, just so we can get some speed, and then obviously we can make those really nice clean cuts. In fact, let's go 800. Right, okay, now we've had a look, and what we've done, we've removed the inclusion, we've removed that wave which is in the log, taken all the bark off, and we've got a lovely shape to it. What did I say at the beginning? That we were probably going to end up with a bowl around about 7x3, didn't I? So let's give it a quick measure. 3, okay, and we're probably coming in 7x3. So that was a very good estimate. So what I'd like to do next is come in, excuse the noise, and what I'd like to do is put the tenon on, put the foot on, and then I'm going to blend, because I don't like flat edges after using the scrapers, and so I'll blend that flat edge back into the piece, and then we'll get this flipped round, and hopefully we'll get it hollowed out. So but yeah, if you are enjoying the video, don't forget to show some love and drop a thumbs up. It does help the channel out massively. And if you'd like to see how things are made, etc., they say it's make an awful lot of bowls and platters and pens and that kind of thing, really. So but yeah, if you do enjoy the content, drop in and say hi. Now, as I was saying before, I don't like these flat edges, because obviously I've just used the square nose piece of carbide. I've got my tenon, okay, I hope that camera angle's okay. I'm working on a different camera, so basically I'm trying to make it a bit more appealing to the eye when actually explaining my wood turning. So I've got my tenon, okay, I've got my foot, and now I've got this flat edge. Okay, so, and again, it's quite, the flow of this bowl, the curve, it's quite simplistic, and I don't like it how it runs down and you stop at this flat edge, because when you place the bowl down, it's going to look like it's sitting on this flat edge, but it's not going to, because what I'm likely to do, I'm going to take my 3/8 bowl gouge up, and I'm going to feather this flat edge back up, so basically it's not so evident on the piece. Just takes a bit of light work. Now, I'm not trying to be too aggressive whatsoever at this stage, because you could quite easily ruin the form by taking away too much of the shape, really. So, but again, we've removed that flat edge. We've got the tenon, we've got the foot, the shoe, and then this flat edge is now more curved. It's more uniform with the piece. So my next job for this is to create a dovetail on the back of this tenon. And the way I do that is I use my skew. And the skew is great for creating dovetails. There we are. So what we're going to do now is we're going to flip it round. We'll get it in the jaws, and hopefully we'll get this thing hollowed out. Right, now I've actually just sharpened up my 3/8 bowl gouge, and every woodturner knows sharp tools are a must. I was going to say, and as you can see, I've got it actually stuck in the jaws now, and we're going to start hollowing. I'm going to clean up this face up, and then start going in for the inside. Create some more depth. Right, so what I'm doing here, I'm just using a round nose scraper just to tidy the inside of the walls up, remove any tool marks that could possibly be there, so we end up with a nice clean finish. So before we think about sanding, before we think about taking it off the lathe, let's take a good look at it, look for any imperfections. And say I'm very happy with that depth, very happy with the rim. And hopefully we'll get this sanded up very shortly, which I should speed up for you because it's quite a bit of a bore, it's a bit of a task. And then we'll apply some isopropyl on it, give it a good tidy up, and we'll look for a beautiful finish for this actually stunning little piece. Right, okay, so basically what I'd like to do now is take a nice coat of Furniture Clinic pure tung oil. It's one of my favourite go-to finishes to apply to my pieces after they come off the lathe. Not just because it's food safe, but it has a beautiful sheen. It's got a lovely shine to it. So, but again, it's not one of these types of bowls that you're going to stick your cereal in. Well, you could do, be a pretty big cereal bowl. So, but more of a decorative piece more than anything really. So I'm just going to come on quite liberally with it. I can say it's I've turned lots of oak, lots of ash, lots of beech. Like I said before, I've turned some exotics, etc. So one thing I am going to delve into this year is turning, well, experimenting with some epoxy. So just to see how we get on with it, really. But if I don't like turning it, then at least I've had a go. At least I've had a go. But if you have enjoyed the video today, don't forget to let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. But hopefully this will come off the lathe. It'll have a coat today, a coat tomorrow, a coat 3 days later, and then it'll sit and cure. So I'm just going to make sure this is nicely soaked in. I said it could have gone thinner on the walls, but again, I think it's not a bad shape bowl. So just have a quick look around it before we think about taking it off the lathe. Okay, right, let's have a look at this bowl. And there we have it. There we have it. Let's bring it back a little bit. So again, it's not a massive bowl. It's more decorative. So, but again, this is why I love oak. Colour variations just tell a story, really, of what's been happening to this tree and how it's been growing, etc. Like I said, all 2 bowls that I turn never end up the same. Ever end up the same. They're never the same shape. They're never the same form. They're never the same character. Like I said, if you've enjoyed my video, don't forget to let me know, and hopefully I shall see you all back in the next one. But thanks for watching YouTube. Take care.